Amoebunnies. A you bunny? No, it's a bunny. Oh, Lily. All right. Hello everyone, welcome back to Foster the Meeple, a channel all about board games and board gamey things. I am back again today with another pumped up Kickstarter. And today's pumped up Kickstarter is going to be on Amoebunnies. And this is from Wrong Cauldron, who very kindly sponsored this video. Amoebunnies. These are the Amoebunnies. They're right on the cover. Amoebunnies is coming to Kickstarter. I'm going to have all the links, everything you need to know in the description below. Before we get started, this is a prototype copy of the game, so everything that you see is subject to change, so just keep that in mind. You know what I mean, jelly beans? As per usual with our preview videos, I am going to give you a little overview of the game, show you how it works, and then I'm just going to help you decide whether or not this game is right for you. So without further ado, let's get into it. I missed a good opportunity. Without further ado, let's hop into it. And we're back. Let's talk about Amoebunnies. Amoebunnies are tiny amoeba-like creatures that drift in the clouds and fog looking for interesting places to land. They have the remarkable ability to shrink and multiply by dividing into their smaller selves, or they can combine to grow into their big selves. They're very versatile, these little Amoebunnies. They are strongly affected by light frequencies, which invigorate their personalities and fill them up with color. The Amoebunnies adore carrots. I mean, they are bunnies. After all, we all know bunnies love carrots. They do. Little rascals. They have found a nice carrot patch to settle near for a time, but now they need some help. The objective of the game is to take control of an Amoebunny as they perform tasks around rainbow mists. The bunny who completes their task first will win the game. What the heck does that mean? Well, as per usual, I'm so glad you asked. Let's take a closer look at how the game plays. Shall we? Once again, I have my overhead camera set up for you so you can see the game in all of its rainbow glory. Very colorful. This is Rainbow Mists. I am going to go over kind of like a general overview of how this game works. I'm currently set up for a 2-player game. The game does play for 2 to 6 players. All right. Now, we are going to start with character selection. Each character will select a bunny that they would like to play as. You can also do this randomly if you like, whatever you prefer. Do it randomly or choose the one that you want to be. We have Roy. Roy is the red bunny. Violet is the purple bunny. Sunil is the blue bunny. Midori is the green bunny. Sari is the yellow bunny. And Cam is our orange bunny. And you will notice throughout this video, I'm going to use the term Amoebunnies and bunnies interchangeably because when I see bunny, I say bunny. I can't help it. After you have selected your character, every player will then receive a character sheet, which has all of that character's rules on it. They will also receive a board that corresponds with their character, as well as any of the components that are outlined in that character's kind of rule sheet. So with that being said, this is an asymmetrical game. All of the bunnies, the Amoebunnies, are asymmetrical. They're all asymmetrical characters, all right? So what that means is that the bunnies are coming with their own set of objectives, rules, setup, so you have to make sure that you read your character's little rule booklet before you start, and that might help you decide who you might like to play. So after you choose the characters, you're going to begin playing the game. Now, each character will take a turn, and during your turn, you can do as many actions as you can or as you would like to. Your main resource is going to be color cards. So at the beginning of the game, everybody is going to start with 3 color cards. And then at the end of your turn, you are going to draw one into your hand. Let's take a look at one of the Amoebunny sheets, and we're gonna go with Roy. So for my setup, I have set up using Roy and Sari the yellow bunny, and Roy the red bunny. So we're gonna take a closer look at Roy. I am not gonna go through all of the bunnies. This is not an official how to play. I just kind of wanna give you a general idea of what you can expect. Now, this is the general structure of the character's little rule sheet. You have your character, complexity level, so they're all different kind of difficulties in terms of how they play. So Roy is kind of right in the middle. He's a 3-star complexity. You're gonna have this kind of side here is just some quick notes that you can leave face up. It lists all of Roy's action and his movement. On the back, it has a little bit of like fun flavor text and a story about Roy. We have our setup rules and special abilities, once again for a quick reference, but when we open up the booklet, it's going to have everything that you need to know of how to play that character. So let's talk about Roy. Roy's objective is to find 6 flowers and bring them to the matching birds, bees, and butterflies. His objective tokens represent a place where he may look for a flower. His objective tokens you will see scattered all over the board. They're these little red tokens. So part of his setup is putting out his red tokens on all of these spaces that have the letter R. Like I said, these tokens represent where he may look for a flower, and when he lands on one of these spaces with his tokens, he may play a color card matching his current space to reveal that token. Roy is starting over here in this location. The starting location is determined by drawing a location card at the beginning of the game, so this obviously isn't the one that I drew, but this would tell you that the starting location is in the purple section, wherever the green leaf is. All right, so let's just say that Roy was right here in this location where there's a token. He could play the red color card because he's in the red section. So basically that is how he can collect the token. So when he does that, he would flip it over. If there is a bird, bee, or butterfly, then he's found a flower. Yay! In this instance, there isn't one, but let's just say he was up here and flipped this token over. This token shows a flower with a butterfly, okay? So if he finds one of those, he can pick up this token and place it on a flower space on his character board. So this is his character board. Boom, there he goes. Once he has dropped a matching token on each of the 6 animals around the board, he wins. He's completed his objective. So you'll see right here, there is a drop-off space for a bee. Here we have a butterfly, there we have another bee, here we have a bird, there we have a butterfly, etc. All right, so he has to deliver a flower to all of the birds, bees, and butterflies. That is his special objective. Now, one of the things that I did just reveal earlier is a boost token. So there are also boost tokens. If he finds one of these, he can place it on his player card and he will then gain that specified ability. So he has speedy delivery, Peak, and Bargain. Those are his boost tokens that he can encounter. Roy can move up to 5 spaces per turn in any direction, and this will be increased if he gains the boost Speedy Delivery. He has a special ability called Network, and that means that Roy can spend 1 movement to hitch a ride and go from a bird, bee, or butterfly space to the corresponding space across the board, okay? Here's a bee. This would let him go zing right over here to this bee. Each character, like I mentioned, is unique, and they're going to have a specified difficulty level, their own set of rules, but there are a few general rules that will apply for all players, okay? Just to wrap that up, that is how Roy works. Now, Roy works differently than Sari, who works differently than Cam, who works differently than Violet, and so on and so forth. So as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, just make sure that you're taking a sneaky peek at all of the rules and everything inside to choose a character that maybe matches with your playstyle or to try somebody new. Back to the general rules that apply to all players. You may only perform actions during your own turn, all right? So Roy wouldn't be able to do any of his actions during Sari's turn. You can only do your actions on your own turn. You can do as many actions as you can from your action list on your turn, and a number of actions can be taken between movement. So you don't have to do all of your movement at once. So if Roy wanted to do 2 move, and then he wanted to take an action and then do his next 2, he could do that, okay? Now, jellies. Jellies are a special resource, and if a card has a jelly icon, it can be played as any color, so you can essentially consider this to be like a wild card. A jelly can be spent to move 1 space in any direction, doesn't go towards movement limit, so once again with Roy, if his movement limit is 5, a jelly that he spends could let him go 1 more, and it's not taking away from those 5. You could use a jelly in place of a color card like a wild, okay? You can play cards containing 3 of the same color to collect a jelly as well. So if you want to get more jellies, that's how you do that, and everybody has a little jelly collection area on their board. And the last thing that's really important is that sometimes some of the character rules will contradict maybe one of the general rules. Character rules always take priority over general rules, so if something in your little rule book goes against what the game is telling you to do, just trust your heart, trust in your character. They know what's going on, they know what's up. Then the game is going to end when the first player completes their objective. So this is essentially like everybody is racing to complete their objective by playing their own little game and doing all of the actions. So there's a little bit of a race element in there. So that in a nutshell, in a very kind of general nutshell, is Amoebunnies. So the question now is, who is this game for? This is a family-friendly game for fans of objective and task-based games. If you like asymmetry, or even better, if you've been interested in trying out an asymmetrical game and you've just been unsure, this is a really good one to try for your first time because it's definitely more approachable than many other asymmetrical games that are out on the market and some that you would have encountered maybe in your past. It's bright, it's colorful, it's cute, and there is a ton of variety with the different characters you can play and try out. So as an example, in this game, we set up with Roy and Sari. In the next game, maybe we can try Cam and Midori, and it's going to be a totally different game. You can mix and match all of the characters. You can start off with some of the simpler characters and work your way up to the more complex characters. As an example, Sunil, the blue Amoebunny, is a 5 out of 5 complexity, so they would be considered the most difficult. Violet is a 4. Midori is a 4, Cam is a 1, so this would kind of be like your starter character. Roy, I believe, is a 3, and Sari is a 2. So you've got lots of variety there that you can try. And just to kind of show you what the different character boards look like, just by looking at these, you can tell that they are all playing very differently. Some of them even have dice, which is fun. If any of that sounds like it might be something that you are interested in, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I am going to have everything linked in the description below for you to follow along the campaign. As per usual, make sure that you do your research, read reviews, watch videos, do all of the things to help you determine whether or not this is a good fit for you. The Kickstarter campaign is going to come with obviously lots of additional goodies and things like that, so there might be even more variety than what I'm showing you right now. But if you're interested in Amoebunnies, click the links below, all right? So that is everything that I have today to show you about Amoebunnies. Now, if you're interested in buying board games, this one we're going to go to Kickstarter because that's where it's going to be for sale. Other games you can go to your friendly local gaming store, and for us, that's the Boardroom Game Cafe. And if you like what you see, please consider subscribing. I hope to see you again soon, and now I'm going to hop along and say goodbye. Funny joke. Goodbye. Hoo-ha. Recording, recording, recording. Here you go. You can hop right back there. But just know that they're Amoebunnies. They're special. They're more special than a regular bunny. Who thought that was possible? Anywho's, I wish I had a bunny toy. I have a lot of cats. Dinosaurs. There's a fish. That's the wrong way. There's a fish. That's like a plant. No bunnies. I do have a Thumper toy somewhere. He's not in here though.